FPL Game Week 38 team selection. For the last time this season, we'll be doing a review of Game Week 37, my transfer plans, the lineup for Game Week 38, and of course the captaincy. So if you've enjoyed the video and you've enjoyed the content, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe, and let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert, where arrows go green, but for the first time in 4 game weeks, they didn't go green. 16 points behind the safety score, so a 10k red arrow, which is probably the most inopportune time for that to happen, seeing as we're trying to get inside the top 10k, so we've gone the complete opposite direction. And the reason for that is pretty much one reason. We started Munoz and Wan-Bissaka over Konsa, who had 15 points, and of course, the 1 week I don't have Konsa in my starting lineup is when everyone else owns him for a double-digit haul. Very sore one to take. But Martinez kept his clean sheet because, of course, Konsa did. Munoz and Wan-Bissaka didn't. Of course, Munoz won the FA Cup and then managed to start. I was hoping that one of Munoz or Mateta or Cunha or De Bruyne or Salah would not turn up so I could get the auto subs, because of course Isak missed out and Mateta was coming on already, so I needed another one. But no, I was punished for putting Konsa second. So that pretty much is the whole reason why I'm on the red arrow. But we do have one more week to rectify that, and of course we did save our transfer last week. So we have 2 free transfers going into the last week, so let's see which moves I'm weighing up. Into the transfer plans for the final day of the season, and as mentioned, we do have 2 free transfers up our sleeve. Of course, the goal is to try and sneak into the top 10k, which is currently 33 points behind, so rather unlikely, but have to try something, right? So De Bruyne will be leaving. Of course, this will be the last time I likely own him in FPL. Obviously, he's brought me a lot of joy. He's also brought me a lot of pain, but he's of course a magnificent footballer, and we all wish him very well wherever he's next going to. Might be in Serie A, so I understand that there's a Serie A fantasy team. Maybe we'll have to play that to get him back in the team. And then of course there's Mateta, who's been a very frustrating owner as well. I should have just gotten Eze instead, but what can you do? He had doubles and I thought he was a better owner over Eze, but you live and learn. So for sure thinking to bring in SAKA for De Bruyne, and likely Evan Nilsson. It was likely until I saw the scenes that emerged from yesterday, as Tottenham went a little bit early with their trophy parade. I guess they don't really care about the league at all, because of course Crystal Palace haven't done their trophy parade for the FA Cup yet. That's going to be on Monday. So it looks like Spurs are going to be quite out of it. Whether that's going to be with the first team, whether they're going to be head screwed on the focus, I don't think so. And of course Brighton, however remote a chance it is, need to win to try and finish 8th. And if Chelsea fall out of the top 6, I believe. So yeah, if Chelsea lose and if Brighton win, and also if Villa win, then I think Brighton would manage to get Conference League if Chelsea win the Conference League. So very unlikely, but you have to try, right? Like I'm trying right now. So I am weighing up Welbeck over Evan Nilsson, just because Welbeck is in much better form. He's actually scored in each of his last 3 away league games, whereas Bournemouth have just 1 win in their last 7 home matches. And of course Leicester just recently drew at Champions League hopefuls Nottingham Forest. So Leicester's definitely not an easy game at the moment, so might actually go with Welbeck. Into the final team selection, and it's David Raya in goal as he travels to the south coast to face the basement club of the league in Southampton. This is a chance for the Spanish goalkeeper to record successive golden gloves, as he's currently tied with the Forest keeper Matt Sells on 13 shutouts. Given the Saints are scoreless for the past 3 game weeks, you would imagine the Arsenal defence will be laser focused in keeping 1 more for their goalkeeper. Dan Burn is fresh off a contract renewal in what has been a stellar campaign. He's made a national team debut, he scored and won a cup final, and now has the opportunity to secure Champions League in what would be the closing chapter of a memorable season for the Geordies. The England international has scored, assisted and kept 3 clean sheets in his last 3 games at St James Park, and the Toffees have failed to score in 2 of their last 4 away matches. Josko Gvardiol and his Man City have put themselves into the driving seat for the race for Europe, knowing that a point will secure Champions League football for another season. The Citizens have kept 4 clean sheets in their last 5 road trips. Aaron Wan-Bissaka travels to Ipswich Town, a team that has not scored in 4 of their last 5, and the wingback has combined with Jared Bowen for 2 of West Ham's last 4 goals in the Premier League. Brian Mbeumo travels to Wolves, fresh off their 4-2 loss to Crystal Palace, and Brentford have a chance, albeit small, to finish 8th, which could potentially mean Conference League if the chips fall their way. So considering that they've got nothing to lose by just winning, I think it's worth backing at least one Brentford attacker here. The Cameroonian international has returned 11 times on the road this season. Only Salah and Cliver has more amongst the midfielders. We will wait very close to the deadline for potential Bukayo Saka transfer in hope of early team news, but if there's not, I'll still bring him in anyway. But despite his 7 consecutive blanks, no Arsenal teammate can better his shots in the box, and chances created across the last 4 game weeks. So seeing as his opposition is already relegated and 20th place bottom club Southampton, seems like a pretty decent move to make. Mohamed Salah will be looking to add the cherry to the Premier League cake for the visit of Crystal Palace. Officially named the player of the season today, the Egyptian king needs 2 goal involvements to break the Premier League record. Seeing as he's only blanked thrice in 18 Anfield outings this season, he'll wear the armband for me in what will likely be a party atmosphere, with both sides celebrating their league and FA Cup titles in what is going to actually be the Community Shield curtain raiser next season. But I think given the context of this game, it's at Anfield before the trophy lift, I do think Salah gets at least 1, maybe 2 returns. Jared Bowen's probably the most informed player at the moment in the league due to his returning rate of returning in the last 5 game weeks. He scored 4 goals and assisted twice in that time period and faces an already relegated Ipswich Town. Considering that Eddie Howe mentioned that Alexander Isak is doing okay, and he's actually since been included in Sweden's squad for the internationals in June, I'm considering him to start because he's got 17 goal involvements in 17 St James Park games, and I reckon he's good to start in what is actually a pivotal must-win game for Newcastle. It's pretty simple, their mission: win the game and they qualify for the Champions League. So I think if there's any chance he's fit, he plays, and if not, we do have Rodgers coming off the bench, who goes away to Manchester United anyway. Undecided between Welbeck and Evanilson at the moment, but the two do have quite differing form. Welbeck has scored in each of the last 3 away games, and he faces a Spurs side fresh off the celebrations and an actual trophy parade just yesterday. And given that Leicester have actually been better since their relegation, and they're unbeaten in 3, of course in those 3 games they faced 2 other relegated sides, but they also did grab a 2-2 draw at the Champions League hopefuls Forest. So I'm actually siding with Welbeck at the moment, but that's not decided. And then, last but not least, Matheus Cunha will play his last game for Wolves, and that's probably why he was left out from the start against Palace last game week, with Vitor Pereira making 6 changes to largely include fringe players from the off, with the exception of Strand Larsen, someone who now has emerged as a doubt. So I'm hoping for a start and a farewell haul for the Brazilian before his move to Manchester United, as reported, and given that Brentford don't exactly keep the most clean sheets, we should be hopeful of some returns here. So that's the team selection. Of course, this is not locked in. I'll post my final team probably at 2:20 UK time, about 10 minutes before the deadline, maybe closer than that. But it's been great, the first year of content creation. Thank you all for watching and commenting and liking and supporting and messaging and interacting. It's been very fun. I'm looking forward to the next season, where I'm hopefully looking to improve the quality of the content that I'm delivering. So if you have any feedback, please let me know, either privately or in the comments. And if you have any questions, please let me know, either privately or in the comments. And best of luck in the last game week. Thanks.